Here we are, finally, after dealing with a faulty cartridge, we are ready to go. This is the third part of the Photographic Workflow series, so stay tuned and let's do this. All right, so I made a short video explaining what happened with my printer. Basically, what happened was that on the LCD screen of the Canon Pro-300, my cyan cartridge showed white. It didn't say it was empty. It did not tell me it was low on ink. It didn't tell me that it ran out of ink. It was a brand new cartridge, but it was defective. So it did not register the amount of ink. After doing some research, I found out that it was because of a faulty chip or cartridge. And I tried cleaning the cartridge, actually the contents where it goes into the printer. I tried a million things, it didn't work. I wasted a ton of paper. I tried nozzle checks. I deep cleanings, and the problem was very simple. I replaced the cartridge. Now it's working. This is a major flaw, in my opinion, for the Canon Pro-300 because it should tell me, it should warn me of this, and it didn't. So after dealing with this for a long time, here we are. So we're back to printing. Very well. So let's do this, guys. Let's do this. Last time I attempted printing this, yes, I exposed for the highlights. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working on bringing up the exposure a little bit overall. Actually, more than a little bit. Look at that. Almost 2 stops. But I did want to keep the contrast. So let me go like this because what I really wanted to focus on was bringing those highlights where those clouds are nice and white. I didn't want a lot of for the foreground to be bright because I want our eyes to lead into the clouds, which is the main idea. So I'm increasing the highlights and I'm going to increase the contrast too. See how it actually even makes a little bit more vivid, which is nice. Okay, I'm going to expose a little bit higher because I know my printer is going to bring this down a little bit. Let's see. Now, vibrance and saturation is something that one has to be careful with. Now, this image already has a profile. It's called Verdun Daylight. We actually I talked about this on the video about the camera calibration and so on. So my colors should be absolutely perfect to the theme. So I tend not to use saturation because it doesn't overall increase of saturation, but I do like to move the vibrance, especially to bring out some of these mustard yellows, to bring it out a little bit, just a tiny little bit. All right, not too much. And some people would remove this right here and this, but I tend to be more of a purist. I don't mind keeping some of the original things in the scene. But what I will do actually, I want to crop a little bit, especially here at the bottom, like that. And here we go. And I'm going to And I'm going to darken this right here. I'm not going to use any AI removal or anything like that. I tend to be a little bit of a purist in that sense. So I'm going to create a mask, and I'm going to use a linear gradient, and I'm going to go like this. And I don't mind that it actually gets some of this foreground right here. But once I do that, I can lower my exposure overall. Let's see. Yes, that's better. That's better. I don't mind this, to be honest. It's just a matter of opinion. You know, each person can do it differently. Um, I believe that once you start doing too much photoshopping, and if I were to remove this area right here and I think that it wouldn't be that original. But I think I could crop even a little bit more so that this part of the image is out. Yeah, let me crop a little bit more. Let's see what happens if I do. Now this is locked to the original size, so it's going to keep the proportions. Actually, yeah, that looks pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. And what if I were to straighten this out? You see how it's a little bit tilted this way? Keep that going. It doesn't hurt, does it? So we're going to go to transform. And usually what I like to do is I click on the different settings like auto, level, see what it gives me. Oh, okay, that looks good. All right, let me see. This is one way of doing it. Let's see, we can go vertically. Actually, I'm going to use the crop tool because it allows me to use this ruler. See, I want this to be level with the image right here. Okay. All right, let's see. I'm a little bit too close to that edge right there. Let me go back a little bit. Let me go back a little bit to the crop. I did a undo by accident, so let me level it out again. Here we go, right there, and then move this a little bit out this way so that it doesn't. But now I do feel that that's a little bit distracting, to be honest with you. All right, let's give this a go. Because if I had a big part of this tile showing, I think it would be okay, but just a little bit, it can be distracting. All right, so I chose let's go remove. That's a good size. Let's see, just select as much as I can and see what it does here. Let's see, analyzing. It's taking its time. Analyzing some more. Okay. All right, so I'm going to subtract a little bit from here, and I'm going to add just this little tip right there. There we go. All right, let's see how it does. Removing area with AI. In going back to. All right, hang on. Ah, it's done. Very well. Let's see. Ah, that's fine. That's great. Going back to the analog times, silver photography. Uh, I would probably just burn this corner right here until I would remove that tile. That's one option of doing it. But in color photography, that was sometimes a nightmare because when burning or dodging, you could actually unintentionally add some color casts and banding. But that's something that we don't have to worry about here. All right, very well. So I like this image. Should I add some sharpness to this? Look at that. That's incredible. Just, you know, doing color correction by itself helps a lot with sharpness. It really does. It really does. But should I? Hmm, let's give it a go. It doesn't hurt. If it looks too weird, if it doesn't work, we can always fix it. All right, so we're not going to apply any denoise. This image doesn't need any of that. Let's see how it looks like. And some sharpen. Okay, it's hard. It's probably hard for you to see. That's way too much. Oh, look at that. Oh, actually, I do like some sharpening, to be honest. You bring some of the textures of the cement right here. Nice, nice. Okay, all right. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. What about the exposure? I'm a little bit nervous about how it's going to print because I burned this corner right here and down here. I mean, it looks fine on the screen, but I'm going to play it a little bit safe. I'm going to increase the workspace just a tiny little bit. Every time you increase the contrast, your shadows decrease, but just a tiny because I know that I'm going to print it. The print is going to come out a little bit darker than what I see on my screen, no matter how well we do soft proofing. See, it's supposed to simulate a matte paper, right? And to be honest with you, that just looks awful. All right, very well. So there's the image. Oh, there's a little bird right there. Nice. There's the cross. I don't know if you can see it, just a little bit right there. Okay, so let's give it a go. I know that this is well color calibrated. I know this image is pretty much as perfect as it can get. So I'm not too worried about doing pattern prints or anything like that right now. But I'm gonna go ahead and print this and let's take a look, right? All right, here we go. Here's our print. All right, so I'm viewing this print where I'm going to display it. So I know this light inside my house with these peached colored walls and my curtains give me about 3,800 4,200 Kelvin, which is fine. I mean, this is where I'm going to display it. But as far as I can see, I don't see any weird color casts. My whites are white, my cyans, my blues are fine. I see a little bit of color in these clouds, but I think it's natural of the scene. But right here, I love the way it almost turns completely black, especially in this corner.
because then it emphasizes, it forces your eye to actually go towards the clouds. There's a little bird right there. That means it's a sharp print. Very well. I love the way this Canon premium matte paper gives this painterly texture and color to the image. I really love it. You know, if I were to print this in a glossy paper, it would look horrendous. I think a scene like this is perfect for it. I like the way that the greens are deep and lush. The color of the stone is actually very close to the scene. So in other words, guys, when you do camera calibration, when you apply those profiles in your workflow in Photoshop or in Lightroom, when you print, uh, basically you are dealing more with the brightness of the print um, than anything else, because your colors are going to be spot on, spot on. I did increase the contrast of the scene because I think it does create a little bit more of a dramatic look to it. I do believe that images should have the full range from blacks to whites. I mean, my whites are just, you know, my clouds are perfectly textured. I shot this image using highlight protection on my Nikon ZF camera. So in post-production, all I had to do was bring up a little bit of the exposure, bring my shadows up a little bit, and voila, we have a beautiful print. So after all we've been through, it's done. All right, so we are done. We did this from image capture, color calibration, camera calibration, creating profiles, fixing the print, increasing contrast, sharpening here and there. After the deal that I had to go through with the faulty cartridge, that's the whole process. So I hope you enjoyed this series. It shows the whole workflow from image capture to post-processing to printing. I hope this becomes instructional to you. So please subscribe so I can create more content like this. And I really appreciate everybody that's been cheering me on with this project. I really enjoyed the teaching part of this, or let's put it this way, the sharing part of this, because I made a lot of mistakes along the way. There were a lot of issues that happened that I wasn't expecting, but it's done. Thank you so much. Please subscribe if you haven't, and have a great one. See you next time.